And that is why independent media is so important, and why what Joe Rogan is doing and the platform he has is so vital to this election. And to be honest, when Bernie went on there, a lot of people were saying, well, he shouldn't go on there. He's the gateway to the alt-right, blah, 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 blah. And oh, yeah, in the Sanders camp, in the progressive camp, and of course, the neoliberal establishment. How dare he do that? And, Elizabeth Warren, well, I'm not going on Fox News because I won't. How do you expect to win an election if you're not going to talk to half the country? What is wrong with you? Like, they obviously don't care to win, because if you're going to ignore half the population just because they voted for someone for whatever reason, I mean, look, Bernie Sanders has said it many times and he's been criticized for it. Not every single person that voted for Donald Trump is a racist. And that is entirely true. And I agree with him on that, because some people, maybe they had some sort of, privilege to do it, whatever the hell you want to call it. Some people thought that he was the right choice because they thought Hillary was so awful that they were going to go and vote for Donald Trump because maybe he'll just be different. He's a businessman. He's campaigned on being anti-establishment, whatever. They voted for him. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. And a lot of those people realize that. And they're looking for someone to vote for. And the only person besides Tulsi Gabbard that I see getting independents and libertarians and Republicans is Bernie Sanders. But it just seems like the Democratic Party and the liberal media don't care to win. They want to ignore half the country, and they want to reelect Donald Trump. And as progressives, we know that we need to follow the money. So this is why I've even started vetting channels like TYT when their coverage has turned reminiscent of CNN, with a lot of the Trump bashing, the Russiagate, the pro-corporate candidate promotions, and the pro-regime change bias when they started doing this. So now, for background, I used to watch TYT religiously about 3 years ago. I would work out, just do my thing, get lunch, and I would watch the show with Chink and Anna all the time, religiously. So when I started noticing a change in their reporting, I couldn't ignore it. I mean, especially being in media and knowing how people spin things, I could tell. And it was very disappointing to me. And I realized that this started happening when they got $20 million from Jeffrey Katzenberg. Who is Jeffrey Katzenberg? Well, Jeffrey Katzenberg is the owner of DreamWorks and was once a chairman of Disney, as well as an ardent Hillary supporter and a neoliberal. He's involved in a lot of neoliberal politics. And Anna Kasparian and Cenk are now represented by the neoliberal agency UTA. It's the same one whose clients include Ben Shapiro, Chuck Todd, Clint Watts, Dana Bash, Dane Abrams, Dan Harris, Don Lemon, George Takei, Gloria Boger, John Kasich, Harold Ford Jr., Jake Tapper, Jeffrey Tobin, Jim Acosta, Max Boot, and Matt Gutman. So all I'm going to say on that is we need to follow the money. I'm not saying TYT is anywhere close to being what CNN is, but we need to know that whenever there is a person or a corporation that gives you that amount of money, either you need to have it in the contract that you can say whatever you want, which is very rare because they're usually capitalist and they want to have certain things promoted. They're going to own you. They're going to own a part of you. And my whole point in saying all of this is we need to fight back against the media attacks, not just for Bernie Sanders, but for any progressive that's attacked, which is why I've constantly tried to correct the smears against someone like Tulsi Gabbard, because I've seen, reminiscent of what they did to Bernie in 2016, I've seen them do that to her. And so I don't like it. I don't like it because it's wrong, because you can tell that there's a media spin. And the reason I brought up TYT is because they've been constantly attacking her, promoting Elizabeth Warren. And it's very clear that there is a bias there. The only bias, because we all have biases, that media should have is maybe the bias to tell the truth. Because even if we like a candidate, we have to be able to criticize them. And if we don't like a candidate or a person, we have to be able to give them some sort of ability to speak, or we have to be able to see both sides. And Pasta and I, with Graham Elwood yesterday, we were talking about how powerful Hollywood and how entrenched Hollywood is with the media. And this is all connected. This is all reminiscent of that. You know, these big media companies are connected to production companies, which are connected to film, which are connected to political lobbyists. And we need to realize those connections and fight against them, because nobody do it for us. These people have so much money, and money unfortunately changes people. Power changes people. When you have $20 million, when you get paid millions of dollars per episode, I mean, nobody should get paid that. I don't advocate anybody get paid that much money to tell the public the truth. I don't think that kind of money should exist just to sit there and tell you the truth, because I believe it changes people, and it makes them feel like they have to do this to continue, you know, keeping their jobs. And we're all human beings, and we're all prone to that. So I'm not an advocate for that kind of money. And, you know, if CNN came and offered me 40 million, 20 million, whatever it was, I would turn them down, because it's just that's, you're selling your soul in an effort to have some sort of some sort of elevation in society. And I think as truth tellers, which many of us are, many of you watching are, we need to make sure we're constantly fighting against the smears, because unfortunately there are still people out there that don't watch independent media, that don't know this, that are going to be just as astounded as the majority of people watching Joe Rogan to find out that Bernie Sanders isn't this radical socialist that they thought he was. So I wanted to cover that, and that was my point. Thank you guys all for watching. I really appreciate your support. Johnny, we got any hellos we got to say hi to? Always be on the lookout, correcting these things. We appreciate you. Thank you.
We've had a steady 150 viewers on YouTube, a steady like 20 viewers on Facebook. Awesome. I'm not sure how many are on Twitch. I just want to
hi, Twitch.
Tell everybody that we joined Rockfin.
We did.
And we actually, yesterday we did a show on Epstein, right?
Yes.
And some of the articles that we used in the show in the very end are breaking articles that broke immediately and that we use on the show. We put on Rockfin.
What is Rockfin, Johnny? You want to explain it to them? To people that don't know?
ROKFIN. Rockfin is a crypto-based creators platform. Mm-hmm. So they pay in cryptocurrency, and you know they're just starting up right now. But you have Graham Elwood, Ron Placone on there, and now you have us on there. And basically, it's a subscription-based thing where you get access and you support creators, but you get access to all this exclusive content. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Patreon, and we're providing different content on our Patreon, more personal content on our Patreon. I think I want Fee to post more stuff on our Patreon. I have something.
I just got to cut it up and edit it.
But I think also, you know, we can post like little voice chats. You know,
really?
Yeah, on our
so
Patreon
cool.
and on our Rockfin. And on a Rockfin, you can post articles. You can write articles.
Yeah.
So, and Fiorella loves writing. So
yeah. So the reason we're on that is because YouTube shut us down because we were streaming the debates, even though we were commenting, etc. We finally got our chat back, in case you guys didn't know, which is why I'm streaming live now. But we did it because we need to have a space, because YouTube, these big companies, YouTube, Facebook, they have so much power and they're starting to censor. If we remember what happened with Alex Jones, we knew that it was going to trickle down into everybody, including some of us on the left. So that's why I'm not for censorship at all, really. It's a really slippery slope, so I'm not for it. But again, that's why we're on there. So please check it out. Check out our Patreon. Please like and subscribe. As always, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Convo out.